Welcome, 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 gorgeous soul, to Live Your Best Life with me, your host, Kat Googe, also known as the Joy Queen. We will be having rich and honest conversations about what feeling joyful really means, how to notice more pockets of joy every day, even on the tough ones, and whether laughter really is the medicine we're missing in our lives. I am super passionate about joy, and I love to teach how to intentionally bring it into everyday life instead of waiting for it to happen. I'm a passionate laughter yogi and Reiki healer who is on a mission of global joy, and my heartfelt desire, darling one, is that as we hang out together, you get to reignite your inner joy so you can make the most of your dance on this planet. So, without any further ado, let's dive in. Hey gorgeous soul, thrilled to be sharing with you episode 9 of the Festival Diaries from Live Your Best Life. And I can't believe we are on the penultimate episode. This season feels like it has flown by. And honestly, I have loved every single second of sharing all the juice from these glorious festivals I've had the absolute privilege of being at. This episode is all about CarFest, which is an incredible festival which I only heard about last year. It is the baby of Chris Evans, and all of the profits go to charity. So it is a festival with proper heart and soul. And I came across it last year when a friend of mine was presenting at it, and I got really curious. And I didn't quite get why she was presenting at it. Because it's like, CarFest, I don't get it. And it turns out it's not really about the cars. Yes, there's cars there for sure. But actually, what it is, it's a selection of lots of different festivals within the festival. So I was invited this year to be part of SpaFest, which, as you can probably guess, is all about wellness. Like a really, really beautiful festival to be part of. But there's not just SpaFest, there is Starfest, there's Retrofest, there's Kids Fest. There's like a whole array of different kinds of festivals. So it really is the festival that kind of it meets everyone's needs. You know, there is a main stage too where there's different acts performing, but there's also all these different beautiful pockets going on of all these beautiful festivals going on with an array of incredible people. So it felt like such a privilege to be invited to share there, because there are some really incredible people that are hosting, and I think because it is a festival that is all about supporting charities, then a lot of people are really happy and willing and want to like give their time to raise as much as possible. So it felt like a really aligned festival to be invited to. My session in SpaFest was in the studio, which is this beautiful stretch tent, really beautifully set out, carefully curated by the wonderful Matty, who was the compere for the studio area. And within SpaFest, there is the Inspiration Hub, and there is the SpaFest stage, and then a whole array of other stuff going on. So really, you know, you can spend a lot of your time there. And actually, that's exactly what I ended up doing. I also had the real privilege to be invited over to Camp Chris, which is Chris Evans' private campsite where, you know, all the big investors go to stay, and lots of different celebrities that he invites to come and share either in SpaFest or in Starfest or, you know, on the stage. It's where they come and stay over in the beautiful bell tents or in the Airstream caravans, and Chris and his family stay there too. So it was a real privilege to be invited over there to go and share some laughter yoga, to deliver for some of the people that are staying in that space. So I'm super excited about you listening to this episode. I had just two gorgeous people this time, but oh my gosh, they were totally delicious. And we had, honestly, the most beautifully nourishing, amazing talks. I spoke to Sally Wilkinson, who came along to one of my laughter yoga sessions, and we had a beautiful, beautiful chat about how she felt about it, how her husband Simon felt about it. So I was really excited to be sharing that with her, because she does incredible work in what she does. Has just released a beautiful book, Shit to Shiny, to help you get back on track. And I also had the most heartfelt, nourishing, just divine chat with Matty, the host of SpaFest. And he, shared some really beautiful nuggets about what SpaFest means to him, why he does it, and how he felt about like witnessing and taking part in some laughter yoga in his role as compere, as the MC, as the person keeping us all together in the studio. It really was delightful. I also had the pleasure of sharing this experience with one of my besties, the gorgeous Kath, and that is what I really love about the festivals. Is I go and deliver something that I believe in so deeply, so passionate about. I love the connections, the conversations with people afterwards. I love all the people you get to meet and hang out with afterwards. And I love that I get to take my festy wing women with me to all these different events, so they get to experience the magic too. Like, that means so much to me. So yeah, CarFest, it certainly delivered. I can't wait for you to hear the interviews with the delicious Matty and the oh so gorgeous Sally, and hear your thoughts on it. This is the final year at Laverstock Farm. Next year it's at Silverstone, and I have no doubt, honestly, having seen this year's, I have no doubt on what is going to be delivered at Silverstone next year. So yeah, check it out, and I do hope you come and join us. But for now, dive on in and have a listen to what these two beauties have got to share. So here we are at CarFest, and I have the gorgeous Sally with me, who has just been to experience laughter yoga in the studio at SpaFest. And so I'd love to know, Sally, was that your first time doing laughter yoga?
It was, yes.
Right.
And it was ace.
What did you, before you came to do it, what did you expect from it? What did you think it would be?
When I saw on the programme, they didn't actually say it was yoga.
Right.
They just said something to do with happy, and I thought, everybody could do with a bit of that.
Yeah.
And we just done the happy pair boys sort of stretch. So I thought it was just going to be a workshop. And then when you said yoga, I thought, should we stay? And I thought, best to regret the things you do than the things you don't.
Yeah.
So we stayed, and it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And you just let go.
Yeah, I love it. What was it that particularly spoke to you about it? What did you love about it?
Well, I work from home a lot on my own.
Yeah.
And I do love a good laugh. I love a lot of banter, but I also do a daily thing when I say, what have I laughed at today? And quite often I can go through a day and there's nothing that's made me laugh in a whole day, which is really quite sad, because when you spend so much time on your own, so to do it feeling forced at first, but it wasn't, but then it felt very natural, and as nice as breathing, and it's really made me think, I'm just going to do it at home on my own. Even if I'm on my own, I'm going to wake up laughing.
And this is the essence of why I teach it, because you know, like I said, like the workshop is called Laughter is the Medicine, but really it's a reminder that you're the medicine, but you know, you're using laughter as like the vessel, if you like, the portal to like, oh my gosh, I felt some fun today, I felt some joy. And I think, you know, like what you've shared just now about working at your home alone, right? There's a ton of people in that scenario, particularly now, and to not have that opportunity to have like a bit of banter or whatever, where we might just generate some laughter. So to have the opportunity to just do it yourself, and be the creator,
was possible, really.
And it absolutely is with laughter yoga.
Well, you just proved it.
Yeah, totally. So like, I'd love to know, in terms of like when we were going through it, did it take you kind of like, how long did it take you to kind of fall into the laughter?
I don't want to blow my own trumpet. But I was straight from the beginning. Literally from the first one, I thought, this is what I've been missing. You know, I really, really did feel that. And especially when you connect with a few other people, you could tell the people who are maybe struggling with it a bit, because Simon, my husband, usually struggles, and he did actually really well. But there was 2 or 3 ladies in there you connected with, and I thought, they're feeling like I am. You know, and you could feel that, even from a distance, across the room. Then when we did the together stuff, there was that connection, and I ended up hugging those at the end. You know, and to know that I've really lost the ability to connect sometimes. Sorry, it makes me it makes me sad that because I'm a happy person, I'm a very positive person, I spend all my time inspiring and motivating midlife women, and I end up sometimes feeling rubbish because I spend so much time on my own, and I've really missed that, and that's really highlighted, so it's really touched me, you know, and I genuinely mean that.
Oh, I love that.
Sorry, I'm getting a bit tearful.
But please don't, because like you're just being you, right? And isn't it wonderful to like see where there's been a disconnect?
And I know it's been there. But I thought you had to go out and meet people to do it. And when menopause and stuff, you sometimes can't be bothered doing that. So you end up just doing nothing. And so that's with complete strangers. And I've had the best 25 minutes. And physiologically, my body has hugely benefited. Because of obviously all that happens when you laugh. So it's a win-win.
It absolutely is. And like what you're sharing, there'll be a load of people listening going, I see myself, I see myself. So I think it's so, and this is why, the essence of why I'm doing this is so we can hear these conversations of how the practice can make people feel, and how we can make changes in our lives to like bring something in that we can do for free. On our own, at home, whenever. And like you said, you fell in and felt that energy. So the magic, I think, is one, it's often the thing that you didn't realize you know you needed, right? And two, like, we don't have to do it for a long time. And I think sometimes we don't do the things that can make us feel good because we're like, oh, I haven't got the time, etc., etc. But you can literally change your vibration, your energy really quickly and really powerfully through this practice, can't you?
Oh, without a doubt. And I felt that. And I'm certainly going to add it to the arsenal of things that I promote in the community, which is walking, walks, just the basics. Not doing a big body transformation, losing 3 stone, but starting with the small daily changes. And I'm certainly going to be encouraging them to have a laugh,
bring some laughter.
So I'll be tagging you in there. I'll be sharing your stuff, and then my ladies can add that to it.
Have you got a favourite exercise that you think that you'd start for yourself from the ones we shared, or is it?
I did like the haze, hands in the hay. So it reminds me of 4 Non-Blondes.
Oh, right.
And that's always a feel good song. So it was that really.
I love it. You know, and I think that like I said, that's my favourite clap. It's like your arms wide open.
Surrendering.
It is. I surrender. You know, whatever. I'm here. Freedom. You know, it's beautiful, isn't it? Oh, I love what you shared about laughter yoga. And to wrap up, I would love to just ask about CarFest. Like, what is it? You said you've been here quite a few times before. What is it you love about it? I'm a first timer. I definitely want to be back again. I'm loving it so far. But what is it you love?
I first came 3-4 years ago with Sambra Spirito. There used to be the drumming band that they had here. and we didn't get a chance to look round all this because we were busy doing the gigs and what
Sure,
have you.
yeah.
So then when the following year and they weren't coming, we thought we're going to come on our own, me and my husband.
Yeah.
And it was so lovely to get the timetable
Yeah.
and do all these health and wellness talks and the workshops and be able to go from one to another.
Yeah.
And it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
I just love and I know Simon, you know, because obviously he works with me at home and he really relaxes just being at a festival because you switch off from work.
Totally.
Although I'm working a lot this weekend, but I managed to do both.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I just love the mix and then the music in the evenings.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
So,
Beautiful.
Yeah. Good to see you here again.
Yeah.
Yay!
And on that note,
finish on a laugh.
Absolutely. Oh, you've been amazing.
Okay,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much,
You're
my
so
darling.
welcome.
I'm so happy you came to chat to me.
You're
And
so welcome.
you have to keep me posted with your very good yays. Yeah?
Oh, I will do. I will do.
Thank you, my darling.
Bye.
So, welcome, gorgeous souls, to another delicious episode of the Festival Diaries. We have the wonderful Matty here from the studio in CarFest, and we've got a bit of a story because we're not actually at CarFest. We are re-recording because the episode didn't record. Oh, and I can't tell you how gutted I was. But the wonderful Matty, because he is like literally just such a total legend, has taken some time out of his day. He's currently in Southampton at the boat show with his business, and he's spared like a little snippet to come and chat to us. So Matty, I am first of all so grateful, my darling, for you sparing this time. And secondly, it's just so gorgeous to see you again. I'm like, yay!
Yeah, you too, my lovely. You too.
Oh, you are the just amazing host at the studio in SpaFest, which is part of CarFest. And I absolutely loved your energy. And I was so lucky that you were there for my laughter yoga session. So I would love to know, like, what were your thoughts? What were your feelings? Had you experienced it before? I know it's the first time we'd met, but we definitely hit it off, didn't we, darling? So yeah, I would love you to share anything about the laughter yoga delight that we experienced.
Absolutely. So I've been managing the studio at SpaFest at CarFest for I think 4 years now. We've had something similar in terms of the laughter yoga, but not based as much in the yoga practice itself as your laughter medicine was. And what's always fascinating about anything that sort of happens at the studio in terms of wellness and people kind of coming from their weeks, their summer holidays with the kids, their stresses, their um tribulations when they come to CarFest, especially SpaFest, is that they kind of come quite uptight, they come quite stressed, and doing something like the laughter yoga is really interesting because I think people are sort of hesitant to join in because as grown-ups we've developed these walls and we don't want to look stupid in front of our family, friends, peers, other people that we don't know. Why do we care so much about what other people think? But we do. It's conditioned. It's part of us in society. And throughout the whole session, as you went more and more into it, you could see people's shoulders physically start to drop. You could see people sort of laughing hesitantly at the beginning, not really wanting to let go. And then really kind of come the middle, come the end, really delving into the whole practice of it, not giving an absolute iota what anyone else was thinking, doing. They were feeling their own body. And probably for a lot of people, for the first time in a long time, what were they actually feeling at their core? What were they thinking about? Well, the joy that their own body could bring them, the joy that their own voice, their own nervous system could bring them in terms of just throwing themselves into it and just that laughter really is the best medicine, and it was a fantastic session. It's always very heartwarming. I see lots of different types of disciplines at the studio, and that was genuinely one of the loveliest because it just brought a group of random strangers together in such a short space of time, laughing in each other's faces, just having the best time. And yeah, absolutely heart-filling and beautiful.
Oh, Matty, you're making my little heart do a little dance. It's like, yay, yay, yay. And you're so right that like that collective energy of everyone laughing together, it just ripples throughout, doesn't it? And I feel people just get really activated, you know, when you look at their faces. Obviously, I'm facilitating and really in it, but you know, people looking on, you can like just feel that energy like amplify, can't you? It kind of it radiates out and like more and more people start to trickle in, don't they?
Absolutely. And even passers-by would sort of just stand on the peripheral, maybe slightly hesitant to join in, but absolutely they were laughing at the people that were doing the laughter medicine. And it really is. It has that trickle effect of going, it's joyous, especially in this day and age with this political climate, with the world climate that we're living in. It just brings so much joy to see people experiencing joy and laughter
Yeah,
at its most fundamental level. And, you know, people pay hundreds of pounds to go and see famous comedians and sit in a theatre and watching it, and you're bringing it to the people, full body. Don't just sit here and laugh at my jokes.
yeah,
Full body engagement, full community engagement. Just get on in there and enjoy everything that the session has to bring, that you as a practitioner has to bring, and what your fellow practitioners have to bring, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Just beautiful, beautiful to watch and beautiful to see.
Oh, bless you, my darling. And yeah, it's so relevant you mentioning that about like going to say watch a comedian or something. And like, you know, obviously there's nothing wrong with that, right? But it requires you've got to like go to the thing and invest in that. Whereas the whole essence of what I teach is like remember your own power, right?
Yeah,
Remember who you are underneath all those layers. And then you get to be in charge of your own joy, in charge of your own like belief in yourself, because it's like it's super empowering, right? So I've taught sessions and then I'm like, right, now go and do that thing that felt really tricky like before and see how much easier it feels, you know, because we release that stuff that like squirms around our head and kind of goes like, oh, don't do that thing, or like stay small or keep quiet, or you know, all these things. And instead we kind of go, oh, do you know, like I'm gonna take that step, I'm gonna do that thing, you know, because we feel emboldened because we've like shifted some of that stuff that kind of like holds us back, right?
absolutely. Yeah. I think that you said emboldened, and that's what I think a lot of the studio and the inspiration are about at CarFest is empowerment. It's
Yeah,
that we live in a society, maybe, and this is personal opinion, please don't quote me on this as a business viewpoint, but I think we live in a society where we maybe reach for tablets too quickly. We maybe reach to go to therapy, and we forget the power that we have in ourselves, as you said. We forget
yeah,
the power that we have. And that comes down to things like the body coach, Mr. Motivator was there, as you saw, you know, the power of exercise, the power of laughter, just the power of taking yourself off for 20 minutes and doing some yoga nidra or some meditation.
mm,
Just going recenter yourself. We live in such a frantic, connected, doom scrolling world that we forget that we sometimes are actually in control of how we spend our time, who we spend our time with. And that's the
yeah,
power of what you were doing, some of the other practitioners were doing in terms of their different disciplines. And it is just about, you know, when you're feeling unwell, hitting rock bottom, mentally stressed, physically stressed, actually that walk, that 20-minute laughter, that putting on a comedy episode, that tuning into a laughter medicine session, it's
yeah.
going to change your whole dynamic, change your whole mood, change your whole physicality. It's just a wonderful tool that it should be subscribed on the NHS.
Yeah, well, that's part of the vision, Matty. It's part of the vision. But as the amazing host of the studio, you must be. I mean, I know it must be a very energetically like full few days, right? But you must like be flying with the energy that you're around, right? Because there's so many different modalities, which is what's so wonderful about SpaFest, isn't it? You can literally kind of like go with your woolies, pick a mix bag, and like try a little bit of everything. Like how do you like manage your energy, and how do you feel at the end of that? They're two different questions, so go with whichever one you feel like. But how do you feel at the end of those few days, having been at SpaFest?
I mean, it it's an interesting one because we are there to do a job to facilitate, to make sure that you guys as practitioners have all the tools you need to encourage people to come and take part in it, because there is that nervousness about stepping into the unknown space.
Mm,
Um, so we are there to do a job, but that being said, it's one of the best jobs that I do,
yeah.
because it's so uplifting, because you physically
Mm,
see people's lives change over a weekend.
yeah.
Not to go too deep, but we've had people, especially on the Inspiration Hub at SpaFest, which I know you spent some time in, you
Yeah.
know, someone talking about suicide and how they overcame that journey. And a person came up and said, I've been having those thoughts. I need to speak to somebody now. And
Right.
it literally can save lives. It not just only improves
Mm,
lives, but it can save lives. And you don't get that at other events that you go to.
mm,
So there's a responsibility, there's a huge need and want from our side, as feature managers, to want to deliver such a special experience, because it is a special experience.
mm,
Both for us, both for you guys as the practitioners and our wonderful um, talent, but also for the visitors, because it might be the first time they've ever come across this. They could be an accountant, a head teacher, a bus driver, whatever their jobs are. It might be
mm.
the first time they've ever come across any of this and don't know about self-care, don't know how to self-care. They've never come across it. They've bought the kids because they want to come and see the music and Chris Evans's show, and they come for the festival element, and they can camp for the weekend and have a weekend away. And it's their first step into any kind of self-care. So it's
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing to be able to do and run. And then I think personally, I need to step away on the Monday. And we all say this all the time because it's very overwhelming when we all say goodbye on the Sunday night. Um,
Yeah.
Step away and just process the
Mm.
joy that our small part has been able to provide as part of the wider CarFest experience. But yeah, definitely lots of processing, lots of
Yeah.
calmness, and maybe a gin and tonic or two.
Oh, absolutely. I love all you shared, but like, firstly, I think this is why you're just like the perfect person to host the studio, because you are so warm and engaging and inviting.
Yeah.
And so, like you say, people that are, people do the kind of the walk, don't they? The walk and glance, the walk and glance. We all do it, right? We all do it for everything that we're checking out. And sometimes it's just like that friendly little word or that little smile or something in someone's eyes, right? And you absolutely have got that nailed. Like, you have this like magical little thread that brings people in. So you are like the perfect person to be hosting the studio, because like you say, it could feel confronting, exposing. People could feel nervous. Of course, everyone's delivering in like a really beautiful, safe, all welcoming, inclusive space, but it can make people kind of feel a bit, before they do the thing. So having your warmth there is like so perfect. And
Yeah,
I
that's
so
really
and I so understand what you're saying around when everyone leaves. Like, I was a first timer at CarFest this year, right? First timer then in SpaFest, and I was just a tiny little piece, and I felt sad. And I was like, so you guys who literally just run it and keep it like this, like beautifully well-oiled, seamless machine. Honestly, the whole of SpaFest was just like exactly the energy that you want it to be, like really chilled and like free flowing, and that's from my outside of view, right? Yeah. So it
perfect.
must be really tough saying goodbye to everyone at the end, and all those things. So yeah, giving yourself that decompression, that allow myself to process, integrate, and you should give yourself like a bloody great big like pat on the back for like, go me, another year nailed, right?
Yes, yeah. I think we pat each other on the back because, again, it's
Good.
part of our human condition, isn't it? We're all quite
Yeah.
self-deprecating and self-aware and don't want to be appear to be too egotistical, but we definitely pat each other on the back and just go, it's a really special event. It's a really special thing to be part of. It can be very overwhelming because feelings do get opened up.
Yeah.
People do have transformations at the event, but yeah, just really grateful that I get to call that a small part of my job, and just very, very blessed.
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to like one more question before we wrap up because I'm conscious you've given me your extra time after we had our lost episode. But you've talked lots about SpaFest and bits about CarFest, and you're saying it's your fourth year. What is it that like brings you back like again and again and again? You know, and if someone was kind of listening, going, "Oh, you know, like CarFest, I've maybe someone hasn't heard of it or yeah they're curious like why is it because you are definitely your team SpaFest team CarFest right I could yeah exactly I could feel that from you. What is it that draws you back again and again and what might draw people to like give it a whirl? What do you think?
Yeah, well, we've talked a lot about how unique and individual an event it is. I think the fact that CarFest has sort of seven festivals in one, so it is CarFest, absolutely, first and foremost, and we're moving to Silverstone next year. So for all the car enthusiasts, whoop whoop, for all the car enthusiasts, that's going to be iconic. So that's wonderful. With new venue comes new exciting opportunities to grow SpaFest. But it is the seven festivals in one. There's Kids Fest, there's Disco Fest, there's Fun Fest, so you've got all of the rides, you've got Food Fest. So it's a real foodie, wellness, music. Then you get all the bands, McFly, Rick Astley, you get Chris Evans there hosting from Virgin Radio. So they do a live radio show on the Friday morning, live from CarFest. So there is nothing else quite like it,
Mm,
it's a little bit of all the festivals you've done this season mixed with a bit of Glastonbury.
yeah.
And it's just so unique and niche in kind of what it offers. It's a real safe space. It's a real family friendly environment, but you don't have to come with the kids. You can come with a group of friends. And it's just about taking that quality time out for yourself, with your friends, with your family, to remember the reason we all work so hard doing everything else is so that we can enjoy weekends like this, so that we can enjoy
Mm.
people enjoying what they're doing and providing, and just reconnect and meet glorious new people like yourself.
Yay! Oh, I think you've absolutely nailed the description. It is. I've done quite a few festivals now over the last couple of years, and it is like nothing else, you know. And there were places that I went to. That I didn't think I'd particularly explore, and then I'm like, here I am, kind of like scoffing some stuff in Food Fest, going, oh, I'm having a delightful time, you know, with some rather tasty hummus and tapenade, you know, like who knew?
Absolutely.
And you know and so there's bits like because I knew that I would be like SpaFest, but the green room which was beautifully provided for us as facilitators was right by Starfest, and you know I'm walking past, I'm listening to amazing authors or you know someone chatting who's like a TV personality, and like you say you just don't get that broad like it's so broad, isn't it?
Mm,
Mix anywhere else you'll get say music and wellness, but you won't get all the other pieces, you know, or you might get food and wellness or a bit of music and food, or but you don't get the like the whole smorgasbord. So I feel like you literally you can go there and you can do
yes.
like the whole seven courses, right? You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think every event organizer, all the events that I do work on, there's always a duty of care to our visitors and all
Mm,
of that kind of stuff. But I don't know, it just feels almost like, without sounding too cheesy, it feels like a step back in time of safety. Um,
yeah.
we really do, I know the organizers do, from a security and like a duty of care perspective, without using too much work jargon, but they really do want to make sure that it's such a safe, incredible space that people can let their guard down, relax with the family, feel safe and secure to feel, to explore those feelings, especially within the SpaFest environment. We have breakaway spaces, we have quiet spaces, we have mental health practitioners on hand in case anything does sort of get opened up. But it's yeah, there isn't anything to my experience yet that comes sort of close to the joy of CarFest.
Yeah, I love that. And and I think that's a really important thing to note that there are people like mental health practitioners and that kind of thing, because, I don't think this is something that every single festival thinks about. And it's really important when you're going to be experiencing things where you might be releasing some stuff. So that is like super, super important, and like and brilliant that they do that. And on the terms of you saying that safety thing, prime example on the Saturday night, I think it was. Like a little kid, I don't know how they were, but they'd gone near the front because like one of their favorites was playing, and they got split. Literally, dad came on stage, announced out, crowd were looking around, then they were going, they're here, returned within, like, honestly, it was the best missing child scenario, because that kind of thing can scare people about big events, right? Scare the small
Yeah,
people, scare the big people that are with them. And you just kind of, from the whole energy I'd felt over the few days there, I was like, Chris has got it sorted. He made the announcement. He got the whole crowd to look around, and like it was all sorted within minutes, And I was like,
yeah,
this is like, and,
yeah.
and all it was the boy or girl. They were just having a lot of fun and like you do. But that safety element was, I could really feel that through the whole festival. It felt very safe, very welcoming, and it literally felt that it was for everybody. So yeah, I,
Yeah.
I love that you shared that, my darling. Oh, Matty, I
Perfect.
could I could talk to you. We could talk for hours. We probably need our
Oh,
own
we
show,
really could.
but that'll be for another time. I am holding the
Absolutely.
vision that I get to come and play at Silverstone next year, because yeah, you're not getting rid of me easily, because because
Always welcome.
I loved SpaFest, and I really loved CarFest, and I think more and more people should go and give it a whirl, because it's certainly not just about cars. Cars are a piece, but there's like a whole wealth of other stuff. And yeah, you can go there and you can experience many beautiful shifts and transformations, and really soul nourishing stuff, and have a ton of fun. It's like literally what's not to love, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. Oh, well, Matty, my darling, thank you so, so much for sparing your time. You're an absolute legend, my darling.
You are more than welcome, the Joy Queen, and I will speak to you very, very soon. Take care, my love.
Oh, I just loved those conversations with the oh so delicious Matty of Dreamtime Events, the gorgeous host of the studio in SpaFest, and the oh so fabulous Sally Wilkinson, also known as Ditch the Diet Coach. They were just like from the heart, weren't they? And this is why I've decided to do this Roman podcast for this series, is because I know I am at all these amazing events, and honestly, at these festivals you meet just such a wealth of incredible souls. It is just so magical that, like, to hear the conversations, to get them recorded, to hear them in real time and get them to out there with the world to share with others, is just wonderful, because listening to both of those wonderful souls, they had so much to share on how CarFest has felt for them as an experience, what laughter yoga has felt like as an experience, and the impact like being in spaces like this has on our emotional health and well-being. You can't help but put yourself in somewhere like SpaFest, whether you're hosting like Matty was, or coming along to the sessions like Sally was, and feel shifts. You can't help it. You can't help it, honestly, And I left that festival like literally buzzing. I went there with, an expectation of just open curiosity, because I just wasn't really sure what to expect. My goodness me, it literally, it surpassed itself. Like, it exceeded all my expectations. Like, as a facilitator, we were looked after so beautifully. I don't know any other festival that has like put us quite so much in the forefront of their minds for just ease and facilitator consideration. You know, it was amazing. We had this incredible green room, which you know, that doesn't often happen. And the green room was, you know, where anyone could go. So, you know, there'd be Rob Brydon and Lee Mack having like lunch on the next table, and Mr. Motivator coming in doing a little dance with his Motivator crew, and Sue Pollard sitting down eating a sarnie. You know, like it was like just anyone was in there, and it was beautiful. And in there, I had the most expansive, nourishing conversations. I bumped into the beautiful soul that is Donna Ashworth. I've had the fortune to meet her in real life before, and we've chatted a little bit on Insta. And her and her lovely husband came over and had lunch with us, and we just had just such a beautiful soul nourishing chat. And this is what I mean about coming to spaces like this. The spaces in between are so often where the magic lies, you know. All these little conversations that we had along the way were just incredible, you know, like walking around in SpaFest and chatting to people on the stalls and having conversations as to why they're there, what they're doing. They're all heart-based. They're all heart-led. They're all people that are here to make, you know, a difference. My wonderful friend Annie Breen of the Galloping Gut Hut was in there sharing her beautiful Galloping Gut Hut, where it shares all this incredible coffee that she loves to create as one of the parts of her business. You know, and this is what I mean. Like, everyone is there, whatever it is, like whether it's, you know, the coffee that you're sharing, or the talk that you're sharing, or the workshop you're facilitating, the beautiful duo that are Celia and Jenny. I love to call her Jenny Pigeon from Haven Lifestyle. They were there. And Celia came running in as I started my session going, "Hello, the laughter lady, you're here again." You know, and, you know, just check out their stuff, because I then went in and was like, oh my gosh, I'm in heaven. You know, I'm so glad I've seen you again, because things I'd wanted to get a happy place and hadn't got there, I could then get there. And again, their stuff it's from the heart space. It's fueled with love. I honestly just had the best time there. I set the intention that I really wanted to meet Rangan Chatterjee, and this is the power of speaking things into action. I told lots of people this. I set the intention. I also, like, I'm really here for putting myself in spaces where I can make this kind of stuff happen, where I can manifest what I desire. So I was standing in Camp Chris after I'd facilitated my session, and Rangan Chatterjee literally comes running towards me. And I was like, whoa, that's manifestation in action. Runs past me, looks at me, says, hold on a second. And then it appears he'd knocked a whole thing of coffee all over this woman's white t-shirt and shorts. Poor love. He was trying to fix it. Got a t-shirt from one of the brilliant team there. And looked at me again, went, hold on a sec, ran back, gave the t-shirt, and then came back to speak to me. Now, I was just standing there, but I was looking straight at him with, I want to talk to you vibes. I really want to meet you. And I did. And we had the most delightful conversation. I told him about laughter yoga and how I really wanted him to come to my session. And he was like, yes, you commented on Insta. And again, like, intention. If you want to make stuff happen, you've got to put yourself out there. You've got to say it. You've got to bring these things into fruition. And bless him, he didn't make it, but he really said he was going to try. And that was enough. That really was enough for me. I had the conversation. I told him that I'd love his opinion on it as a medic and as a human being. And I really believe that he'll come one day, and we had a lovely chat about habits and beliefs. And I'm just really delighted that I managed to have that time with him, because I love his podcast. And one of my visions is I get to be on his podcast one day, being a leading expert on laughter, So getting to meet him now is all part of the seed planting. It's all part of the steps. And honestly, this is how you get to make your mark in what you want to do. You keep planting the seeds, you keep taking the steps. Intention is great, but implementation, like taking the action, that is where the magic happens, So this is how we get to create these big shifts in life and in business. It honestly was such a treat hosting at SpaFest and to be part of the CarFest team, because it's quite incomparable to any festival I've done this year. And like I say, it totally blew me away. The energy that people brought to the laughter yoga session was just incredible. The space that we held it in was beautiful. It absolutely thought about all the participants and how the experience was going to feel for them. It was amazing. I honestly recommend check it out. It's probably one of those festivals that you didn't know that you needed, right? But honestly, I spent my time basically in SpaFest, in the green room, chilling at the campsite. That was super easy, not packed, really, really well organized and well thought out. And by the main stage in one of the side access areas. And it was just fabulous. We had such a great time. Loved being there with one of my besties. Oh, we had a great little hangout in Food Fest too, meeting the happy pair and tasting their gorgeous products. And some wonderful ladies selling River Tree gin, which was amazing as well. So yeah, Food Fest is definitely worth a little check out as well. But honestly, everywhere's worth a little peruse around. And it, like I say, it really surprised me as to how brilliant it was. And now I'm like, yes, Team SpaFest all the way. This is like another little happy place for me. The crew were brilliant. The experience felt amazing. And, it's probably no surprise. It attracts the most amazing tribe. And actually watching Chris Evans on stage introducing all the charities, my goodness me, like it was so moving and such a great reminder for why people were there. And him introducing different people coming on. Honestly, he was so excited. I did actually get to meet him as well and say thank you. And this is really important to me as a facilitator, is where I can say thank you to the people that have brought me into their spaces. I love to do that. I absolutely love it. So yeah, and I said to him, are you proud? We turned around and we looked out the green room and looked at CarFest and went, are you proud of what you created? I said, because it's incredible. And he said, proud? No, I don't think proud. He said, I'm just really, really happy. And I was like, amazing. Gives me a little goosey rush just thinking about it, because it is quite incredible, and the world needs more people doing stuff which serves other people's. Like people were there having the best time, but also it was doing good, and this is why I wanted to be part of it, and this is why I'm so happy I was. So this podcast is another special. It's from the heart. It is, yeah, created with love. And like I say, I just chatted to a couple of people, but it was enough. It got the essence, it got the energy. I'm so grateful for the experience and for all the amazing souls I met there, the wonderful conversations I got to have. And the amazing opportunities I got to manifest. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. So I would love to hear, I would love to hear what it is you've loved about it, any great takeaways, and if you would love a really juicy burst of joy, because this is what this episode, this festival, what it really, really exudes, then check out my juicy joy hacks in the show notes. It also has a little laughter yoga snippet for you, for your pleasure, for your delight. So if you're feeling the energy from the interviews, go check out that, because it will help you maintain that energy for yourself in 5 quick, easy win ways so you can reset, restore, and reconnect. All right, my darlings, much love until the final one, which is Om & Base, which will be out there soon when I have been there and received all the juice. Keep living your best life, my darlings, and look after yourselves. Thank you so much, gorgeous soul, for listening to this episode of Live Your Best Life. I hope you love listening to it as much as I did creating it. It really is such a joy to share this with you. It would be amazing if you could share the love and tell your friends to have a listen too. And I would be super grateful if you could follow and subscribe to Live Your Best Love so you'll never miss an episode, and rate or review the podcast. In the meantime, darling one, remember how incredible you are and keep noticing those pockets of joy.